Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Islam and Biomedical Imaging. This video is going to give a brief overview of the concept of Islamization of knowledge. Historically, there were several Islamic civilizations that had made contributions to mankind. They include the Umayyad Caliphate, the Abbasid Caliphate, and right on to the Ottoman era. Collectively, Muslims of yesteryears had contributed to philosophy, law, medicine, mathematics, engineering, other sciences, and education. For example, in education, it was during the reign of the Abbasid Caliph Harun al-Rashid, whereby there was the inauguration of the House of Wisdom in Baghdad, where Muslim and non-Muslim scholars with different cultural backgrounds gathered and translated all the known world classical knowledge. There is also to this day the University of Al-Qarawiyyin, which is in Fez, Morocco, whereby some sources such as UNESCO and the Guinness Book of Records cite Al-Qarawiyyin, that it was established in 859, as the oldest degree-granting university and the oldest continually operating higher learning institution in the world. Then there is the University of Al-Azhar in Cairo, Egypt. It was established around 970 or is it 972? And also, as a comparison, the oldest university in the Western world is said to be in the University of Bologna, Italy, which was founded in 1088. However, with the collapse of the Ottoman Empire around 1922 or 1923, it saw the decline in Islamic power and position in socio-economic, education, and technology. In 1960s, Muslim scholars recognized the above weaknesses in the Muslim communities. This led to the concept of Islamization of knowledge. Quoting the thoughts of these three prominent Muslim scholars, the factors that contributed to the decline and backwardness of the Muslim Ummah include politically divided Ummah, poor socio-economic management, religio-cultural discrepancies, external factors such as colonization, internal factors such as individual development from within the Muslim individual. There is also the misconception of knowledge that made the Muslims being very bad imitators of the West. Muslims failed to differentiate between true knowledge from those infused with Western vision. Knowledge and education that has been interpreted through the Western worldview, and this approach needs to be re-examined. Thus, this led to the concept of Islamization of knowledge, or in some instances, it is Islamization of knowledge. In 1977, the first World Conference on Muslim Education was held in Makkah, whereby it recognized the need for the Muslims to organize themselves in line with the divine norms, and called for efforts to be made to establish a symbiotic relationship between revealed knowledge and acquired knowledge. Further conferences were held under different names. Example, Second International Conference on Islamization of Knowledge in 1982, plus some local conferences elsewhere. Some definitions of IOK, or Islamization of knowledge. There is no rigid definition for Islamization of knowledge. Some of the definitions given was practicing intellectual activity based on Islamic concept of a universe, a methodology for dealing with knowledge and its resources, and the intellectual pursuit from the perspective of Islamic outlook on life, man, and the universe, reforming of the disciplines, and to Islamize a certain discipline is to teach, learn, and present that discipline in an Islamic way. So why the differences in definition? The differences among the scholars could be attributed to their different backgrounds, educations, and beliefs regarding the issue. The differences merely broaden the understanding of the concept, thus making it flexible for its applications. There have been efforts on how to manage IOK, and one of it is given by the IIUM Islamization policy. This policy can be used to provide guidance for IOK. It outlines 18 broad scopes or working definitions to facilitate in achieving Islamization in the discipline. Overall, the philosophical point of view within this document, the term Islamization refers to the processes or initiatives that relates to the harmonization of academic and non-academic matters to the Islamic worldview, principles, values, ethics, and norms. The different operational definitions that the document outlines are geared towards the concept of harmonization between Islam and human sciences. 4 of the definitions may be relevant for Islamization of the discipline. Example for biomedical imaging, right? It is reconciliation and harmonization of useful Western knowledge with Islamic principles and norms, integrating Islamic values, principles, and norms, generating Islamic alternatives and developing models in various fields of knowledge, and inculcating Islamic values in teaching and learning, research, publications, and supervision. So today we have the session summary. Number 1, the backwardness of the Muslim community needs to be addressed, especially from the educational domain. Secondly, the role of current education approaches needs to be re-engineered from the Islamic principles, beliefs, objectives, values, and practices. Thirdly, the objectives of the concept of Islamization of knowledge within biomedical imaging needs to be promoted, implemented, disseminated, shared, and embraced or internalized. Finally, based on the 4 definitions given under Managing IOK, the way forward for biomedical imaging is to identify practical methods in integrating, aligning, and harmonizing Islamic perspectives in the field. There are reading suggestions given in the video description. The next video is towards integration of Islamic perspectives into biomedical imaging. Thank you.